Just had a harrowing trip in the old green 60 Ford pickup out to suburban sprawl hell, Lake Oswego. Just 30 minutes each way. This poor old truck up deep, steep hills and brake fade and making lots of lefts onto busy streets, but it was worth it. So I got this little all-original rock hopper. The kid said it was a wedding present to his mom, and she hasn't ridden it in like 20 or 30 years. He's finally getting rid of it. He thought it was the late 80s. I was guessing maybe more early 80s with the Dior group. So it's got all original everything. It's got the Dior deer head derailleurs, like brakes. It's got Suntour flag cranks, old Shimano BMX pedals, Shimano black levers I've never seen, the Dior XT deer head shifters, cool upright specialized bar and super upright stem and bar. It's very cool. The original wheels. It's like a fairly good size. Pretty excited, especially for what I had to pay for it. There's just no way I couldn't drive down there and pick this guy up. F off. Well, it's the weekend again. Haven't done much. I just scored that really great rock hopper, and I'm gonna do some stuff to it. But first, we gotta make some room. I'm drowning in stuff. I spent last night cleaning up a bunch of bike parts and listing a bunch of stuff on eBay and getting it out of the way. I'll find some new homes for some stuff. I got this beautiful Trek 1000 aluminum bike that I got in the last video. I got the Community Cycling Center for $25 from their Sunday salvage sale. Wheels were macked, the back rim was macked, the front hub was crusty. The rest of the bike's mint condition. So pulled apart, just did a little cleaning. It is so pretty. I'm gonna see if someone wants to buy it. If not, I might have to build it up. I have a billion spare parts. It is just so gorgeous. Love this like black sparkle into super heavy silver sparkle. I gotta get it out of the way. I got these two bikes over here for my friend Lindsay and her mom Rosie. Rosie gave me her old hybrid-y thing someone gave her that I thought was all wrong. This was 36 pounds and really big and 700C fat wheels. And I just happened to have this real raw titanium in perfect, nice original shape. So I went ahead and we overhauled it. So this great turd has been taking up all the spare room in my bedroom with this trash and bike parts and packing materials piling up behind it. This is the bike that Rosie had sent up to me to look at, but it is a great turd and we're not into it. I did like it had a really upright, really short, really lightweight stem, so I stole that off of it and put some brand new bars I got Tomcat onto their all titanium. So I have this big uprighty dumb stem. It's heavy. We put on this heavy bike, and I'm gonna try and find some bars, probably the ones that came on it, put it back on there, some cruisery bars. And I'm just gonna give it a little clean and tune, and hopefully that's all it needs. But for now, what I'm really gonna do is steal these purple pedals because I went on eBay and I found some purple grips. Woohoo! And of course, when you're trying to color match, nothing actually matches. It looks pretty good in the camera. This is quite a bit lighter. It's a little darker. It'll get dirty. It'll be a little far away. It'll be fine. Wipe any old grime off. I don't want to put dirt and grime and stuff into threads and cause problems. Tight, tight, tight. Wash my hands. Always wash my hands before I do grips, because why get them all gross? This is a really good tool. I think I showed off in a few other videos. A lot of people don't know it exists. It's reverse pliers. You squeeze the handle and it opens things up. And sometimes you can open some things up. See if I can stretch it enough on its own. If not, I'll just hold it stretched on and put it on. Ah, yeah. And pinch, you can use a flathead screwdriver too. Stick into stuff and just kind of twist it to try and wedge things open. But the flathead screwdriver is more likely to mangle things, scratch them up, put burrs on stuff, make it harder to do stuff with later on. Purple pedals are on, purple grips are on. Just gotta put this bike on the ground and get them adjusted and tightened down. We'll give this bike one last little test ride. Then we're gonna call it golden. Maybe send some pictures to Rosie. She lives about 100 30 miles from here, so I gotta figure out how to get it to her too. Pretty cool. And now we're back on the Lindsay's bike, which is this nice old vintage Italian bike. Has a really nice purple paint job, even though it's a little bit chippy. I think it's a more modern paint job. And I built it up with I got some 105 wheels for 40 bucks at a garage sale, a friend moving. And I got this 105 group off of Craigslist. A friend had it from an old cracked frame. And I paid 50 bucks for it. You know, and I paid 40 for the bike that this frame came with, and yada yada yada. Made my money back on that plus some, selling parts. I think it's her size, and I think she'll like it. There's no way to be 100% sure. But the shifter, I put the original 6-speed 105 shifter on, this like later thummy mount. It has a little red anodized dude, and I have these red anodized grips, and I have these red anodized chainring bolts, and so I went on old Pork Chop BMX's site. It's a good place for old stuff and fun stuff. I might order some stuff. I got some valve caps. I got some water bottle boss bolts. I got some M10 barrel adjusters that I think will work. And I got a few headset spacers. It's got one like 2.5 millimeter spacer in there. I got one to replace it. Or I got two little 1 millimeter ones. It might be cool to do a red 1 millimeter one, maybe a locking spacer, then the other red 1 millimeter one. Make it more fun. Let's do the barrel adjusters first because it's the funnest. So what I'm gonna do is loosen these brakes up. I squeeze that lever and pull the tension off. I'm gonna yank. Oh, almost. Roll this one out and line the slots up. Try it one more time. Yeah. So squeeze the lever to pull the tension off. Yanked on this while letting go of this. Popped right out of those slots. I'm pretty sure these are 10 mil. Pretty sure. Come on, baby, be all the right things. Ho ho ho. Look at that gorgeousness. The only way it'd be cooler is if this was black and that was red. I think in the picture it was all red and I thought about maybe just using those, but you know, what you gonna do? Still so much cooler. Same thing over here, squeeze. I guess we should line, oh, it's all lined up. Squeeze and yank. Come on, be lined up. Red is the easiest color to match. For some reason, anodized red just kind of usually matches pretty well, where most other colors are kind of jerks. I did also order some skewers, and I just got a notification they're probably going to get early delivery today for red locking skewers, so that'll be cool. Let's go water bottle bolts. Should probably never have a water bottle. This will give it a nice finished, cool look. And those things are a million miles way too long for some reason. And these things come in all different quantities, and sometimes it's $8 or $9 for two. Or when I'm Pork Chop BMX, and I think it was like, 10 of them for $7 or $8. So worth looking around. I did look for some red pedals and things, but that stuff's all kind of expensive and maybe over the top. I keep it kind of subtle with some silver and black accents. Everything's cool. Just gonna hang it gently. It's probably not gonna mangle anything. Spacer off. Locking spacer. Alright guys, be thin enough. Red. Locking spacer. Red. And it looks like there's plenty of threads. You want like 4 at least for this, but if you go too much it'll bottom out. Not gonna get tight either. So this is perfect. About a millimeter gap. This fits even better than the other one did. Let's roll this right back up the way we took it off. Put the maximum line, because really that's where people think. I mean, bikes look sexier if you're selling with the stem slammed, but really people want to be as upright as possible. God, I kind of wish I had a black top nut, really. I think that's the correct matching one for this headset. I'd have to steal it off a different black headset if I did. Looks good. I've already done the little red cable narps on the end of all the cables. So yeah, we just need those red locking skewers. And I was kind of thinking about switching these tires. These also say they're 725, but they look really skinny to me. I think that's more of a pink or orange. It's fine. We don't want to go too dark bike. I'm gonna get this down and adjust the headset, take it for a test ride. And then these bikes will be done. I can tear down this rock hopper. Oh yeah, I'm tearing down that rock hopper. I've already got a couple of vintage mountain bikes trying to sell for complete. You just can't get that money. People don't want to pay $600-700 complete bike, but people have been paying like $2 for those cranks, like $2 for the shifters and derailleurs, like $100 for the brakes. So it's gonna make $500 or $600. It's easier to sell a $100 thing than a $600 thing. A lot of people got $100, don't got 6. So tear it down, test ride these guys, and then very boringly build up that Trek commuter bike. Not fun at all, but something to do and get it out of the way and up for sale. I have no bikes for sale. I wasn't selling anything, all of a sudden somehow I'm out. So I gotta do a couple of builds. Lift it up, real buttery smooth. Grab the front brake and try and twist the wheel sideways. So you don't feel any play. If you just go front and back, you can sometimes feel the play in the brakes just moving under tension. Let us see. Have to go ride it. You can also do a bounce test. You can hold the bike off the ground and just bounce the front wheel off. You can hear it go bong, 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 like. But sometimes that can also be the valve nut, little jam nut, or the loose plate in the hub. You can check that stuff too. So fun. Do you want some jammers? Maybe. They're huge. Coolness. So that's those two bikes done out of the way, ready for test rides. It's like 92 out, so maybe I'll do that tomorrow morning. Late tonight, and this beautiful old mid-80s rock hopper ready to party. I just checked the seat post. It is loose and free and moves up, but the seat lug's a little bit pried open. I think maybe it was stuck at one point. Somebody got it out. And let's check the stem. Yay, and the stem's free too. Both the brakes seem to move kind of freely, and it's a pretty nice old bike. It's half a shame. Oh, now the cables aren't frozen. Pretty tight. But I don't need a 15th bike sitting out in my way. I do need to rent money on eBay. The swap meet's coming up tomorrow. I have to steal some money from my savings and hopefully pay myself back, which is what I always say and never do. Not this big old giant freewheel. These nice rims. There's like no wear. Satura X28. Satura Japan 1.5 Specialized. These are the original Specialized Crossroads tires. This thing has, they're not even close to worn. Huh. Feels like butter. If I don't make $1 million on this, then old vintage mountain bikes are dead. Oh, butter. It's got the Specialized flag cranks. And they're basically the nicest I've ever seen. They got a Specialized outer ring and Shimano BioPace inners. It's also a round outer ring too. That's fun. It's got the sticker residue still on here in the front derailleur. This thing's nicer than I thought, man. I was just checking eBay. These cranks are going anywhere from $100 to $200. There's a lot of them for $212. Shifter and derailleur sets $250. But also some sold for like $40. So it's definitely buy it now kind of thing instead of a bid kind of thing. Yeah, so these brakes are going for $20. Some of them for the whole set, people are getting over $100 for it. It's out of curiosity. Chain's singing, it's almost worn out. I bet you this is the original chain. Vintage new old stock chains, even sometimes lightly used ones, are worth real money, but I don't think this one is, and I'm not gonna care. I'm gonna cut the cables, get all these parts off, get them cleaned up, the frame cleaned up, put all this on eBay, see what happens. And ta-da! Got this dude stripped. It's pretty nice, other than the top of the seat lug being pried open for reasons that I don't know about or care about. I could tap him back in with the brass hammer and the seat post in there, or not care. We'll see what happens. But yeah, this low miles rock hopper is stripped, except for these rusty old water bottle bolts. We don't need those ugly up this build. And our red locking skewers showed up. So no reason not to pop these dudes in. Wow. Sick. See if the back one will fit. Sometimes this stuff is road length or mountain length only, or doesn't say it's only one or the other. I mean, the road length will basically always fit the mountain, basically. The mountain length is usually doesn't have enough threads for the little dude to screw back on all the way and tighten the wheel up in an old road bike. So let's cross our fingers. Definitely enough threads. It's definitely can stick out 5 or 6 millimeters. So worst case, we can hacksaw 4 or 5 millimeters off this side and hit it with a little file, make sure it's not sharp, and solve those problems. These are also the same threads as valve stems. So if we want to be lazy, we can just take the old black valve stem cap and thread it on here so it's covering up those extra threads that are poking out so you never nick your ankle on it. So that's good to know. These cheap red locking skewers are good for 126, 130, and 135 spaced. That is very nice of them. Beautiful. And I got a valve cap. I'm just going to thread this on for now. Totally, probably fine forever. And hope we don't lose that. And at least Lindsay and Rosie's little Technium and little mystery Italian frame are done and fun looking. And little red accents. Look at them little purple accents. Tight. Just got back from the Belleric Bikes swap meet. Did not take any photos while I was there because I'm shy. But got some scores. It's not the most ridiculous load I've ever had on a bike. It's definitely the most ridiculous load I've had on a bike with this narrow tires, this tall, the weight this high up. But I definitely got some scores. I had 100 and something in my pocket. I hit an ATM for 240. I spent about another 150 on PayPal. So some scores. Maybe found the bar, like a Simworks Chromo by Nitto bar for 50 bucks. I can sell the stem for probably 25 to 35, Technomic. So, maybe use the grips, the bars, the bar end plugs for my Dura-Ace beater bike. Got a basket need for Lindsay's little red anodized bike that we've been working on. I'll finish that up. And just bought a ton of parts. My friend there closed her shop a couple years ago, still has a ton of parts. So I spent about 80 bucks with her and just bought 3 cassettes, 10 chains, a dozen ESI foam grips. I bought some Compass tires, brand new in the box. They're super cheap because they're 700 by 26, which no one cares about, but I have some old bikes like that. Got some black single speed cranks, will be cool for a build. So I have black seat posts and black bars and black stems and some black brakes. Got one of these PDW little rear clamp-on racks, a bunch of stuff. I'll unload this and we'll go through it, but first I gotta turn right around, ride right back past the swap meet and hit the handmade bike show. A buddy of mine won some tickets, so I'm gonna go meet up with him. We're gonna ride down there. Look at this ridiculousness. Whew, that was a long day. I got 5 or 6 beers in me, 5 or 6 hours of sun. My sweet 21 and over verified bracelet, my sweet black Saturday bracelet from the Made Bike Show. Made was cool. It was a good time to go there. I ran into all of my favorite people. My old business partner Mark Belladonna from motorcycles and build on cycles. My wheel builder, Brian from Stoic Wheels. Right when we got there, we went to the beer tent and they showed up after us. Got some sweet Fat Tire Farm stickers and koozie. For being a show where everything's really expensive, we got pizza slices, wasn't so bad. We got beers. Beers were like 5 for $20. It was shockingly cheap. I thought it'd be like 2 for $20. The first thing Brian did was pull out his brand new sweet Stoic Wheels shirt and give me one of my size, so I'm super excited about that. Other than the sunburn and this stuff, I took a friend there, my dog park friend. He's super cool, and he won some tickets and wanted to go, and I was the only other bike friend he knows of. So down there, and I was showing him the Paul booth and explaining to him all the stuff about all the Paul stuff, which apparently I knew as well as anyone who worked at that booth. So they gave me a free Paul bottle opener that says made in 2023 on the back, so they only had a few of them. And he seemed like I was the right guy for it, so that's super cool. Before the Made show, I went down to the Bellerick Brew Pub swap meet, which did not disappoint. You know, first it's like, it's some deals, it doesn't seem that dealy. But then I went nuts. I took like $120 with me and I spent it, hit the ATM, maxed out for $240, spent it, and spent like another $150 in PayPal. A lot of control. I got about 100 pounds worth of bike parts on the front of my bike. I rode them all sketchy and flexy, and you can see why the modern guys like their really stiff bikes. But I figured we should go through some of the stuff I bought. So the first thing I did was fill this bag, and then this bag, and this basket. So let's check it out. So this is a table. Like the third or fourth stop I made. This guy had crazy deals on stuff. He has some Compass extra light tires, 700 by 26, not a popular size, but $20 a piece, brand new. New old stock. So I got those because I like some old vintage race bikes. I've been wanting a grease gun for a long time. I've been using some little baster things. A grease gun, a 1513 Park. Cone wrench was really the only size you needed, and a green spoke wrench I didn't have. He was like saying like stuff's really cheap, and the tools he wasn't so cheap on, but I was like, $10 for the three of them? He's like, yeah. I was like, heck yeah, man. I think he charged me like $10 for this whole complete lime green brake shift complete road cable kit, so I thought that was cool. I think he was doing $5 for tapes. I got one black tape, so I don't have any tape. The table right before that was insane. I walked up and it was a non-profit for pairs, like 148th and Stark. And somebody was asking stuff, like, oh, we're doing about like 20 to $30 per thing. I looked down, I saw this very nice, barely any heel scuff, really nice chainring, Campy Super Record Strata 3, so I think that means 83. So like really late Super Record crank set. I'm like, I'll give you $20 for that, ha ha ha. Thinking he'd be all mad, and he's like, okay. I think the nut caps are going to get me over $20 on eBay. I think the rings will bring $20 a piece. I think the cranks will probably bring 80. Campy's up and down sometimes, but I couldn't not get it. I need to make rent by selling some parts, or maybe I'll use them on a bike because they're super cool. And then he's like, oh, there's more stuff. There was, it's like there's the levers. So the levers are real scuffy. They're missing the hood, so not super special. There's the front derailleur as well. So I think I gave him another $20 for the levers and the front derailleur, which is a Super Record. It's black. It's a little scruffy. It's not worn at all. They're non-profit, so it's from a donated bike. So he's like, whatever, we're just trying to raise funds. I noticed the shifters. I gave him another $10 for these. The correct Campy Super Record shifters. They're pretty decent shape. It looks like they're pretty complete. They're all complete. So that was cool. Then I noticed he had this. Wow. One of my holy grails. So this is a Dura-Ace 9-speed road triple derailleur. So it's Dura-Ace. It's nice. It's like 7,700. Boom. Mega range pulleys. So it's got the huge, like ridiculous like mountain bike style pulleys. I love it. It wraps a ton of chain. It's great to keep bikes from having much chain slap. That's what I have on my rando bike. There's no reason not to have an extra one. Maybe I'll do a cool 1 by Dura-Ace 9-speed build. Every once in a while I see good deals in the rear hubs and the shifters and that sort of stuff, so gives me a reason to buy stuff. And then he's like, oh, I got the Dura-Ace 10-speed shifters too. They sure seem like they have all their clicks. So I'll play with these and make sure they're cool, test them out, but Dura-Ace 10-speed, maybe I'll do a little road build. I bet they're actually the 9-speed 7700 ones. Man, these things are expensive. And this is Dura-Ace. It's expensive. Then I was digging around in this pile. I think I threw down another $30. He had this set of Shimano 600 Arabesque derailleurs in like brand new shape. There's like not a scuff on these things. They are so nice, so cool. Had to buy them. I got stupid money for an Arabesque Rusty group the other day. Oh, he had the campy bottom bracket. I had to throw it in. I think I ended up spending like $80 total on all of this stuff. Just kept piling it up and kept piling it up. Oh yeah, got this too. So it's used, but it's in the box for reasons. Road double Ultegra 9-speed Brazon front derailleur, missing the bolt, whatever. And 9-speed Ultegra short cage rear derailleur, no scuffs. This thing's really nice. You know, long cage is cooler, but short cage is cool too. Before that, I went to a guy who I'd been talking to on Craigslist about a 105 group, like a 6-speed 105 group he has for sale. Man, he showed me some bags and some frames that he wanted dirt for. He had like an MB2 with a biplane fork, 1 year only. Large size, I wanted $100 for, but as it was on my basket, I couldn't have room. It's out of money. So I might email him tomorrow. He has a nice bag set I wanted to for $150, like almost brand new, like acorn bags, like rando bag and seat bag. He had a $1 bin and a $5 bin. So I dug through. Here's a generic whatever Suntour triple front derailleur. I really bought just for this bolt, which I need for a nice Suntour derailleur. So really for hardware for $1, like whatever. This cool like cell phone mount, like straps to your handlebars. You put your phone here, so it might make it easier for me to film some riding videos when I'm riding my sick errands to do stuff. I think he threw that and he started just throwing small parts in. A little 110, I think it was like a 34 or 38. It's real dirty. I gotta clean a chain ring. It's probably in good shape that I'll use. A really beat bash guard. Looks like it's been clamped in a vise a few times. Maybe it's savable. A nice set of MKS little CR9 platform pedals for $1. They're in good shape. The bearings feel great. Yeah. Get several sets of old Shimano bar end pods. The bar end's missing. I probably put them on tummy pods or whatever. He had one of these Tektro like FL750 levers, which is great because I have one mismatched one, so maybe this is the match. Maybe. Maybe I'll have 2 mismatched ones. Some probably like Portland Design Works, like leather lock-on grips that are real used, but fine. $1. A tall generic modern like originated stem for $1, like cool. A little Cannondale branded multi-tool for $1. Some kind of missing parts, but all the important parts are there, like Shimano XRs, probably 6 or 7 speed down tube shifters. We got a generic front hub, because really I just want the dummy axle out of it, or the axle out for like a dummy for shipping forks and stuff. He said just throw in all the little parts. So, you know, I got like a little 1.1/8 cable hanger with a barrel adjuster. Got a Shimano, I think it's Shimano, it might be something generic, metal cup. I also had a $5 bin. I got 3 things out of that. I got a nice set of Velo Orange, like little mini toe cages. Set of nice Sora flight deck shifters. These go for like $20-$30 on eBay. Yeah, I had a couple more sets of Shimano bar end pods with all the hardware. They're definitely just stealing the shifters off for tummy pods or whatever, but some of this hardware is worth its weight in gold. Some kind of broken and mismatched Shimano 105 shifters, like 6-speed, which is great. I kind of need a set, and I can swap out the plastic and stuff on the nice ones that I have that have the logos rubbed off with the logo on it. Get some of these speed play pedals for $5. I had a worn out, totally destroyed set of these with some totally destroyed shims and stuff. Someone gave me like $70 for them on eBay. I couldn't believe it. I put them for 10. People bid like crazy, so apparently some guys need these old speed plates. So I bought them. I'll put them on eBay just in case. The other 105 shifter with a bunch of broken plastic. So maybe it's just parts. I bought this rear RX 100 hub because it's later. So I think it's 8-speed. But it's sort of the earlier sort of body, so I think I can steal the axle, spacers, and this cassette body out and make any old 7-speed only hub into an 8, 9, 10-speed hub on vintage wheels. So that's hot. Sometimes these are really worth grabbing just for that. I've done it on a few old 600 hubs and stuff. I think this little chainring is different. He had this Sun Tour 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-speed freewheel. I looked at the teeth, man, the teeth look really low wear, like no noticeable wear. Sun Tour 6-speed freewheel in the dollar bin. I'm gonna get $30 for that on eBay. He also had this VO seat post. It's real scuffy, but it's the super setback VO. It's got all the hardware. It's 27.2. It's a little scruffy, which is sad, but it's gonna do the job. $5 in the $5 bin. These go for $30 scuffy, because they're like so expensive now. One plastic Shimano cup just to have an extra one. Another set of the bar end pods with all the little hardware and stuff, so I can switch some things over into thummy pods. First deal of the day, I walked up to a guy who set up outside, and he had a set of these Tektro FL750 levers. He wanted $10. $10 used is fine. I mean, God, they're $15 wholesale. They sell for like $30 from QVP. I already have a couple of sets, but I like using them on stuff. So I got them, so now I have 3 of these. I think I have 3 inside. And for $20, you have these old vintage Diacomp 292 early 80s mountain bike levers in mint condition. I had a scruffy black set of these off a mountain bike that didn't realize was worth anything. Put them on eBay, got like $80. So I'm excited for these. They're going on eBay. And I went up to another guy. That's the guy with the really good deals. So I got this tool and these tires and this stuff from. Some other kid asked him about some pedals he had, and they were cool pedals. Look at these pedals. They're panda faces. Fully metal, light alloy, from Blue Lug. Oh my god. All in Japanese. Nice ass pedals. Panda ones. And these like bear paw ones. I didn't even realize I said Blue Lug on them. That makes them way fancier. But yeah, I was like, whatever, I just gotta get rid of them. I bought them in Japan and shipped them over here, and they're expensive. Kid's like, what do you want? The guy's like, $10. The kid's like, eh. So I threw the dude at 20. I'm like, I want them both. I want them both. These are hot. Absolutely gonna put these on, probably these Panda ones on my commuter bike, because it's so fun. Got these 2 hot pedal sets. And I went up to a guy, and I was like looking around. His table's overpriced, but he had this on his table. $50 price tag. It's a SimWorks Chromo bar, which I'm not super stoked on because they're kind of heavy, but it's kind of wide, and it's real bright silver, so it's like an ugly paint job. It's on a Technomic stem, a really tall Technomic for 26.0. It's got half of one shim crammed in there and bent like people do crazy shit. It's got some silicone grips that are probably dead but useful, but these are big enough. I can get grips, I can get brake levers, I can get thummy pod. So I'm thinking maybe these will be good for my Dura-Ace beeper build. Be a little bit hot without being too ridiculous. And for $50, he also threw in the little SimWorks end caps. They're a little scuffy in there. But you know, these were $20. This bar was probably 80 or 90. And for 50, I think I can probably get 28 to 35 for the stem on eBay. Or save it for a project, but really probably sell it, try to make back this bar. Make most of my money back and have it work. So that was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool swap. Bag 1. Then a friend of mine who has a shop here had a shop, and she closed it around the same time I closed my shop, and apparently had just insane inventory. So I keep seeing her at swap meets, and she's just got so much stuff. So I went and dug around, and she was making deals. She has a little stuff in a storage unit. She's sick of paying for it. I don't think she has any intention of opening a shop. So she was selling stuff pretty cheap at the last swap meet. So I decided to hit her up. I bought a bunch of these ESI grips last time. I think retail's 22. She was charging me like 5. I'm like, what about this? What about this? And I just kept adding to this bag. I got a SRAM 1132 9-speed cassette. Cool. I think I paid her $80 total. So this is probably like a $40 or $50 cassette. Another SRAM 10-speed 1128. Got a bunch of cassettes. I should have got more. Oh, I didn't get more. I just kept adding. I'm like $30 for this. I'm like, oh, what about if I add this pile too? Make it 50. What about I add this pile? Make it 80. Another 10-speed 1132. I wanted to go 1136 on the next project, but I got these 1132s for nothing. I got several chains. A 971 9-speed chain, a PC1 single-speed chain, KMC 10-speed chain. I love this chain. PC 850, KMC 8-speed, 2 Dior XTR 10-speed chains, 2 of these blue silicone grips, a red silicone grip, a green silicone grip, a red silicone grip, another bluish purple silicone grip, another 8-speed chain. She's like, I'm like, am I breaking your heart? Wait, saying so little for the prices? She's like, you can't break my heart about 8-speed stuff. I'm like, cool. A couple more 8-speed chains. I do a lot of 7 8-speed stuff. Another nice 9-speed chain. 1 8-speed quick link that's like stuck to my hand, I think. There's 2 generic cables in there. A set of black single-speed chainring bolts. 1 generic Sunlight, like old 80s style mountain bike straddle cable. Some like brand new generic 7mm barrel adjusters for like old style mountain bike levers. Another nice set of silver. Oh, I think this is Road double. The black ones are single speed. This is double. And 1 nice set of what looks like brand new Redline pedals. Oh, they're 1/2 inch. So there's like kids bike or BMX. Whatever. These are still, retail for $20. So I got that big pile of stuff. There's another $80 or so. What else? Then I went to the guy behind her who's like a dude who works at Community Cycling Center I see all the time. And he had this. It's all male familiar. He had this walled basket. I'm like, what do you want for this used walled basket? He's like, $10. I'm like, that's what they go for, so that's perfect. So it's used walled basket that's going to go on Lindsay's little red anodized hot Italian bike. And he had one of these Portland Design Works like rear, like seat, it mounts in the seat post, and this like straps up under your saddle, and you can put stuff sacks, or you can put a sleeping bag. I always want to try one of these on my rando bike. It's made for rando. It's got front lowriders, detachable handlebar bag, front panniers, but no way to carry anything on the back. So this would be nice for like an ultralight sleeping bag or mini tent, some light stuff, just get it up out of the way and not be all bulky in the bag. And then I saw he didn't unload his basket all the way, and I saw a Sagino crank. I'm like, oh, Sagino crank. It's a Road double / Messenger. And he's like, oh, it's not nice enough to sell. You can just have it. It's a nice looking crank, man. I mean, it's got like a pretty beat up Messenger Sagino tracky chainring, but I don't care about that. The cranks are black and nice. They're 170s. They match. The threads look good. The tapers look good. They're probably fine. I got a bunch of other black parts, so this will be cool for like a black single speed or 1x build, I think. And he had a couple other chain rings in there I grabbed. He had another crank set that he wanted money for. I'm like, I don't care about it at all. For free, I might take it for the chain rings. So this is a Truative 144 BCD 48 tooth, very modern style, like track chain ring. And he had a couple old vintage like 80s mountain bikes and early 90s mountain bikes, like little teeny inner rings. They're worth $5 or $10. So I grabbed that. So I got a huge score. It doesn't seem that big now. For, spending $500 or $600. It was a pretty good score. Got some leads on some other stuff. I'm real happy. Like, I'm out of grips, and I love these silicone ESI grips. They are super fun. Oh yeah, extra chunky. Extra chunky. And I got 5 or 6 bikes worth of grips. I've been totally out of grips, and it's a bummer. yeah, I got some scores that the Sunday salvage sale's off for tomorrow for whatever reasons. Carl didn't say, but it's off. So my friend had free tickets to the Made Oregon custom fancy handmade show. So that's why I decided to do the swap meet, come home and unload, let the dog out, and then run back to Made. And so I just bought all the beers, which were luckily very cheap. He bought some pizza slices. It turned out pretty fun. What is my greatest score from this swap meet? I don't know. The only thing I really need is a thummy pod for not my 8-speed Dura-Ace down tube shifters onto these flat bars. Didn't find one, so I went right on eBay and bought one for pretty cheap. And I needed this basket, so that worked out. But score, man, 3 cassettes, like 10 chains. It's Dura-Ace derailleur. I think I'll sell enough of this extra stuff to cover basically everything I bought and still have a bunch of extra useful parts. So, not a bad gig, even though I had to ride home 100 tons of weight. I could feel my tires flex and my hubs flex and the bars slip and flex, and rode back in pretty much my slowest gear, getting passed by everybody like, oh god, oh god. But it was fun, worth it, even for the sunburn. So that is my update. I'm gonna mount this basket, test ride those bikes in the morning, and hopefully be able to get them over to Lindsay's and out of my way and get started on a couple of new projects. So thanks for watching. So much junk.